Hey everyone! Welcome back to Max and Mia podcast.
Hello everyone. Great to have you here with us today. How's it going, Mia?
I'm doing fantastic, Max. Really excited about today's episode. And hey, before we dive in, if you're enjoying our content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It truly helps us out.
Absolutely. Your support means the world to us. Plus, you won't miss any of our upcoming episodes if you're subscribed.
So, what have we got in store today?
Well, this is going to be a power-packed session. We're focusing on building your vocabulary, sharpening your grammar skills, and of course, giving your listening abilities a serious workout.
And here's a pro tip for those of you who really want to level up. Try shadowing along with this episode. Repeat what we say. Match our rhythm and intonation. It's an amazing way to boost your speaking skills.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about today's main topic. We're tackling something that confuses tons of learners.
Conditionals.
That's right. We're covering everything from the zero conditional all the way through to the third conditional.
And we're going to break them down in a natural, easy-to-understand way. No more confusion. By the end of this episode, you'll finally grasp the differences between all four types.
Now, there is the mixed conditional too, but we're saving that gem for another episode. Today, we're keeping things clear and focused.
So get comfortable, grab a notebook if you'd like, and let's master conditionals once and for all.
Let's get started. All right, so let's start with the basics. Mia, what exactly are conditionals?
Great question. Conditionals are sentence structures we use to talk about possibilities, consequences, and hypothetical situations. Basically, we're saying, if something happens, then something else will happen or would happen.
Precisely. And the key word here is if. That little word is super important because it introduces the condition, the situation that needs to happen first.
Right. So you've got two parts in a conditional sentence, the if part, which sets up the condition, and the result part, which tells us what happens because of that condition.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Depending on the type of situation you're describing, the result can be in the present, the future, or even other forms like the past.
Exactly. And that's why we have different types of conditionals. Each one handles a different kind of situation. Whether it's something that's always true, something likely to happen, or something completely imaginary.
It might sound tricky at first, but once you understand the logic behind each type, it all clicks into place.
So, let's break them down one by one, starting with the simplest.
The zero conditional. Are you ready?
Let's do this. Okay, so zero conditional. This one's actually the easiest to wrap your head around.
Yeah, we use it for facts. Things that are always true, like scientific facts, general truths, that kind of stuff.
The structure is super straightforward. If plus present simple, both parts use the present tense.
Let me give you an example. If you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. See? It's a fact. It happens every single time.
Or here's an everyday one. If I drink coffee at night, I can't sleep. It's just how things work. Cause and effect.
Another thing, you can actually swap if for when in these sentences because the result is guaranteed. When you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. Same meaning.
Right. So think of zero conditional as your go-to for talking about things that are certain, reliable, and happen consistently.
No maybes, no possibilities, just straight up reality.
All right, now let's hear the zero conditional in action.
We've got a conversation between two people at the gym. Listen carefully and see if you can spot all the zero conditionals they use.
Hey, Riley. Good to see you here. Starting with the treadmill today?
Yeah, always. You know me. If I don't warm up properly, my knees start hurting like crazy. Learned that the hard way.
Trust me, I get it. If I skip stretching, I'm basically useless the next day. Everything gets tight and sore.
Exactly. So, are you still doing that new workout routine your trainer recommended?
I am, actually. It's tough, but effective. The thing is, if I work out in the morning, I have way more energy throughout the day. But if I leave it for the evening, I'm just dragging myself here.
That's interesting. For me, it's the opposite. If I exercise too early, I feel exhausted by noon. My body just doesn't wake up that fast, I guess.
Everyone's different, right? Hey, speaking of which, have you noticed the AC in here? If they turn it up too high, the whole place becomes freezing.
Oh, yeah. And if it's too warm, nobody can focus on their workout. They really need to find a balance.
For sure. By the way, I meant to ask, do you still take those protein shakes after working out?
Always. If I don't get protein within an hour after training, my muscles recover way slower. It makes a huge difference.
Same here. I usually do a shake and a banana. If I eat carbs right after lifting, I recover faster and don't feel as drained.
Smart. I also noticed something about hydration. If I don't drink enough water during my workout, I get these terrible headaches later.
Oh, headaches are the worst. I carry my water bottle everywhere now. If I stay hydrated, my performance improves significantly. Plus, if you drink water regularly, your skin looks better too.
That's a nice bonus. Hey, have you tried those new machines over there? The ones by the window?
Not yet. Are they any good?
They're decent, but here's the thing. If you adjust the seat height correctly, they're great. But if you don't, they can mess up your form pretty badly.
Good to know. I'll be careful with that. You know what else I've learned? If I listen to upbeat music while working out, I can push myself harder. It's like my brain doesn't register the pain as much.
Music is a game changer. I have specific playlists for different exercises. If I'm doing cardio, I need fast-paced stuff. But if I'm lifting weights, I prefer something with a strong beat.
Makes sense. Oh, before I forget, are you coming to the yoga class on Saturday?
I want to, but I'm not sure yet. If I don't rest properly during the week, my body just can't handle yoga on the weekend.
Fair enough. I find that if I do yoga once a week, my flexibility improves a lot. And when my flexibility improves, I can lift with better form.
That's actually a good point. Maybe I should prioritize it more. Do you do anything special for recovery?
Sleep, mainly. If I don't get at least 7 hours, my whole training suffers. And if I sleep well, I wake up ready to crush my workout.
Sleep is so underrated. All right, I should probably get going. If I chat too long, I'll never finish my routine.
Same here. Catch you later, Riley.
See you, Jordan. Good luck with your lifts.
Okay, did you catch all those zero conditionals in there?
Jordan and Riley were dropping them left and right. If I don't warm up properly, my knees start hurting. Classic zero conditional about something that always happens.
And notice how natural it sounded? They weren't thinking about grammar rules, just talking about their gym experiences and what always happens to them.
Exactly. That's the beauty of zero conditional. It's all about routines, habits, and things you can count on. Real-life cause and effect.
All right, let's move on to something a bit different now.
So, first conditional, This is where things shift from certainty to possibility.
Right. We use first conditional for real situations that might happen in the future. They're likely, they're realistic, but they're not guaranteed like the zero conditional.
The structure changes here. If plus present simple, will plus base verb. Notice we've got will in the result now.
Here's an example. If it rains tomorrow, I'll stay home. See the difference? It might rain, it might not. But if it does, that's what I'll do.
Or how about this? If you study hard, you'll pass the exam. It's not certain you'll study hard, but if you do, passing becomes likely.
You can also use other modal verbs instead of will, like can, may, or might. For instance, if you arrive early, you can get a good seat.
Good point. And sometimes people use going to instead of will in spoken English. If the weather's nice, we're going to have a barbecue.
The key thing to remember is that first conditional is all about real possibilities. These are things that could actually happen, and you're talking about the likely consequences.
Not fantasies, not impossible dreams. Just realistic future scenarios and their probable outcomes.
Now, let's listen to two tourists planning their day. Pay attention to how they use the first conditional to talk about real possibilities.
Okay, so I'm looking at the map right now. If we head left here, we'll reach the old town in about 15 minutes.
Perfect. But honestly, I'm starving. If we don't grab somebody to eat soon, I'm going to be really grumpy for the rest of the day.
Fair enough. There's supposed to be a great food market near the cathedral. If we stop there first, we can try some local stuff and then explore.
Sounds good to me. Oh, wait, what time does the museum close? If we spend too long at the market, we might miss it.
Let me check. It says here it closes at 6, so if we get there by 4, we'll have plenty of time to see everything.
Cool. And what about that rooftop bar you mentioned, the one with the sunset views?
Oh, yeah. If the weather stays clear like this, the views will be incredible. We should definitely go.
Absolutely. But if it gets cloudy later, should we skip it? I mean, what's the point without the view?
True, but the drinks are supposed to be amazing too. Even if the sunset isn't perfect, we'll still have a good time.
You've got a point. Hey, did you bring the charger? If my phone dies, we're basically lost. I've got 0 sense of direction.
Relax. It's in my backpack. If your battery gets low, just let me know and we'll find a cafe to charge it.
Thank God. So, what's the plan after the museum? If we finish early, we could walk along the river.
That's actually a great idea. If we take that route, we'll pass by some street performers. I read that the area gets really lively in the evening.
Nice. Though I should warn you, if we see any street food vendors, I'm definitely stopping. I can't resist trying new things.
I'm the same way. If they're selling anything interesting, we're getting it. That's part of the experience, right?
Exactly. Oh, I also wanted to ask, if we have time tomorrow, should we do that day trip to the coast?
I'm down for that. If we wake up early enough, we can catch the first train. It's only an hour away.
Perfect. But if we're doing that, we'll need to take it easy tonight. Can't be out too late.
Agreed. If we stay out past midnight, we'll never make that train. I know us.
So true. All right, I think we should start walking. If we keep standing here, we'll waste half the day just planning.
Good call. Oh, but before we go, if we see a supermarket, let's grab some water bottles. It's getting hot.
Definitely. And maybe some snacks for later. If we get hungry between meals, it's nice to have something on hand.
Smart thinking. Okay, I'm putting my phone away now. If I keep checking it constantly, I'll miss everything around us.
That's the spirit. Though, if you see something cool on the map, you can tell me. I trust your research.
Will do. Oh, one more thing. If it starts getting crowded at the museum, let's split up and meet at the exit. We can cover more ground that way.
Good idea. If we stick together in a huge crowd, we'll barely see anything. Just text me when you're done.
Perfect. And hey, if you find any good photo spots, send me the location. I want to get some decent pictures.
For sure. Same goes for you. If you discover any hidden gems, don't keep them to yourself.
Deal. All right, I think we're set. If everything goes according to plan, this is going to be an amazing day.
It will be. Though, knowing us, something unexpected will happen. But if it does, we'll just roll with it.
That's the best attitude. If we're too rigid with the schedule, we'll miss out on spontaneous moments.
Exactly. Okay, let's do this. If we don't start moving now, we'll literally spend the whole morning here.
Lead the way. Oh, wait. If we pass a coffee shop, can we stop? I could really use a cappuccino.
Obviously. If I see one, I'll point it out. I need caffeine too.
Awesome. All right, Old Town, here we come.
Let's make it a day to remember.
Great conversation. Casey and Dylan were full of first conditionals there.
Yeah, they were making real plans for their day. If we had left, we'll reach the old town. That's a genuine possibility they're dealing with.
And notice the flexibility? They kept adjusting their plans based on what might actually happen. That's exactly when you use first conditional in real life.
Totally. They weren't fantasizing about impossible things, just figuring out their day like any normal tourists would.
All right, now things are about to get more interesting.
Here we go, the second conditional. This is where we enter the realm of imagination.
Exactly. We use this for unreal or hypothetical situations in the present or future, things that probably won't happen or are just impossible right now.
The structure shifts again. If plus past simple, would plus base verb. Now we're using past tense in the if part, even though we're talking about now or the future.
I know that sounds weird at first, but stick with us. Here's an example. If I won the lottery, I would buy a house. Am I going to win the lottery? Probably not. It's hypothetical.
Or this one. If I were rich, I would travel the world. Notice I said were, not was. That's a special thing with the verb to be in second conditional. We use were for all persons, though in casual speech people often say was.
Right. Another example. If you had more time, what would you do? You don't have more time, but we're imagining what you'd do if you did.
You can also use could or might instead of would to show different levels of possibility or ability, like, if I spoke French, I could work in Paris.
The crucial difference from first conditional, first is realistic. If it rains, I'll bring an umbrella. Second is unrealistic or unlikely. If it rained chocolate, I would never go inside.
Exactly. Second conditional is your tool for dreams, wishes, advice, and imaginary scenarios.
Let's hear it in action. Two friends talking about their dreams and impossible wishes.
You know what I was thinking about last night? If I could live anywhere in the world, I'd probably choose New Zealand. The landscapes there are just insane.
Oh, interesting choice. I'd go for Japan, hands down. If I had the chance, I would spend at least a year in Tokyo. The culture, the food, everything about it fascinates me.
Tokyo would be incredible. But honestly, if money weren't an issue, I'd probably just travel nonstop for a few years. No settling down, just exploring.
That's the dream, right? If I didn't have to worry about my job, I'd do the same thing. Just pack a backpack and go wherever I felt like going.
Exactly. Like, if we could just leave tomorrow, where would you go first?
Tough question. If I were being totally honest, I'd probably go to Iceland. I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights. What about you?
Patagonia, without a doubt. If I had unlimited time, I'd hike through the whole region. Mountains, glaciers, the whole deal.
That sounds amazing. You know what, though? If I were braver, I'd probably try more extreme stuff like skydiving or bungee jumping while traveling.
Same here. If I weren't so scared of heights, I would have already done it. But just thinking about it makes my stomach drop.
I get it. Although, if someone paid me $1 million, I'd probably jump out of a plane right now.
Fair enough. Money changes everything. If I won a huge lottery prize, I wouldn't even think twice about quitting my job.
Oh, absolutely. If I suddenly became rich, the first thing I'd do is pay off all my student loans. Then I'd buy a nice apartment somewhere warm.
Student loans are brutal. If the government canceled them all tomorrow, I would literally cry tears of joy.
We all would. Hey, random question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, good one. If I could choose, I'd want to fly. Imagine how much easier travel would be. What about you?
I'd pick teleportation. If I could teleport anywhere instantly, I'd visit my family way more often. Plus, no more dealing with airports.
That's genius. If teleportation were real, the whole travel industry would collapse, though.
True. Speaking of which, if you could go back in time, would you? Like if you had a time machine?
Interesting. I think I would, but only to visit. If I actually changed anything, it might mess up the present, you know?
Yeah, butterfly effect and all that. If I went back, I'd just want to see historical events. Like, imagine if you could witness the Renaissance or something.
That would be wild. Although, if I'm being honest, if I could meet any historical figure, I'd probably choose someone recent like David Bowie or Prince.
Good choices. If I met anyone from history, I'd want to talk to Einstein. Just to pick his brain for an hour would be incredible.
For sure. Hey, shifting gears a bit, if you could change one thing about your life right now, what would it be?
That's deep. If I could change something, I'd probably give myself more courage to take risks. I play it too safe sometimes.
I feel you on that. If I were more confident, I would have applied for that job abroad last year. Still regret not doing it.
It's not too late, though. If another opportunity came up, would you take it?
You know what? I think I would. If the right position opened up, I'd seriously consider it this time.
That's the spirit. Life's too short to wonder what if, right?
Exactly. If we spent all our time dreaming and never doing, we'd end up with nothing but regrets.
So true. All right, I'm making a pact with you right now. If either of us gets a crazy opportunity in the next year, we have to take it. Deal?
Deal. If we're doing this, we're doing it right.
Perfect. Now, if this coffee weren't so expensive, I'd order another one.
Same here. If they had a loyalty card that actually gave good discounts, I'd be here every single day.
Harper and Sage really went deep with those hypotheticals.
Yeah, all those what-if scenarios. That's classic second conditional territory. Dreams, impossible wishes, things they'd do if circumstances were different.
And you could hear the wistfulness in their voices, right? That's what second conditional does. It lets you explore possibilities that aren't your current reality.
Exactly. Now let's tackle the last one. And this is where people often get tripped up.
All right, third conditional. This one's all about the past, specifically things that didn't happen and can't be changed.
Right. We use it for regrets, criticism, and imagining how things could have been different if the past had gone another way.
The structure here is if plus past perfect would have plus past participle. It looks complex, but it makes sense once you get the logic.
Let me give you an example. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. The reality? I didn't study hard and I didn't pass. It's over, done. Can't change it.
Exactly. Or this. If we had left earlier, we wouldn't have missed the train. But we didn't leave earlier, so we missed it. Now we're just looking back and thinking about what could have been.
You can also use could have or might have instead of would have. Like, if she had applied for the job, she might have gotten it.
Here's the emotional weight of third conditional. It's often loaded with regret or frustration. If I had known, I would have done things differently. There's that sense of if only.
But it's not always negative. Sometimes it's relief. If I had taken that flight, I would have been stuck in the storm. You're glad things happened the way they did.
Good point. The key thing is that third conditional is always about the past, and it's always about things that are now impossible to change. You're imagining an alternate version of history.
So, to recap the difference, first conditional is real future possibilities. Second is unreal or unlikely present or future. Third is impossible past situations that never happened.
Now let's hear two friends talking about a trip that didn't go as planned. Listen for all those third conditionals.
I still can't believe how that trip turned out. If we had checked the weather forecast, we wouldn't have gone that weekend.
I know, right? The whole thing was a disaster from the start. If I had listened to my gut feeling, I would have suggested postponing it.
Your gut was right. And honestly, if we had booked at other hotel, we might have had a completely different experience.
The one near the beach? Yeah, if we'd stayed there, we wouldn't have dealt with all that construction noise at 6 a.m.
Exactly. I barely slept the entire time. If I had known about the renovation, I would never have made that reservation.
Same here. And remember the car rental situation? If we had arrived 30 minutes earlier, we could have gotten the vehicle we actually wanted.
Oh God, don't remind me. If that guy hadn't taken forever with his paperwork, we would have been fine. We were literally next in line.
So frustrating. And then driving that tiny car through the mountains. If the roads had been better maintained, it wouldn't have been so scary.
My hands were shaking the whole time. If you hadn't been such a calm driver, I probably would have had a panic attack.
Hey, we survived. But seriously, if someone had warned us about those sharp turns, we could have taken the longer route along the coast.
That would have been so much better. And speaking of the coast, if the beach hadn't been closed for that environmental thing, at least we could have enjoyed one day properly.
Right? If we had researched more thoroughly, we would have known about the algae bloom. All those plans just gone.
Wasted. And the restaurant situation. If we had made reservations ahead of time, we wouldn't have spent 2 hours looking for a place to eat that first night.
I was so hungry by the end of it. If that little pizza place hadn't stayed open late, we might have just gone to bed without dinner.
Thank God for that pizza place. Though, if we'd explored the area earlier, we would have found it sooner and saved ourselves the stress.
True. You know what else bugs me? If my phone hadn't died at the worst possible moment, we could have used GPS to find our way back to the hotel.
That was rough. If I had brought my portable charger like I usually do, we wouldn't have gotten so lost.
We walked in circles for like an hour. If that couple hadn't given us directions, we'd probably still be wandering around.
They were lifesavers. But here's the thing that really gets me. If the museum had been open on Tuesdays, we would have at least accomplished one thing from my itinerary.
I was so disappointed about that. If we had checked their schedule online, we could have planned around it.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Story of that trip. And don't even get me started on the train strike. If they had announced it earlier, we might have flown back instead.
Ugh, sitting in that station for 6 hours was torture. If there had been more comfortable seating, it wouldn't have been quite so unbearable.
My back still hurts from those benches. If we'd known about the delay, we could have at least explored the city one more day instead of rushing to the station.
That's actually a good point. we could have made the best of it. If we had been more flexible with our plans, maybe the whole trip wouldn't feel like such a waste.
You're right. I mean, if we hadn't been so stressed about everything going wrong, we might have actually enjoyed some moments.
Like that sunset we saw from the hill. If we had missed our original train, we never would have seen that. It was actually beautiful.
Okay, that's fair. And the food at that random cafe was pretty incredible. If we hadn't gotten lost, we wouldn't have stumbled upon it.
See? Not everything was terrible. If we look at it differently, maybe it was just an adventure.
An adventure. I like that spin on it. If we'd had a lower expectations from the beginning, we probably would have enjoyed it more.
Definitely. So, lesson learned for next time?
Oh, there will be a next time. But if we plan another trip together, we're doing way more research.
Deal. And if anything goes wrong, we'll just roll with it better.
Wow, Avery and Morgan had quite the trip.
All those regrets. But notice how they eventually found some silver linings? That's the interesting thing about third conditional. It's not always just complaining. Sometimes it helps you process what happened.
Exactly. They looked back at what went wrong, but then realized some good things came from those mistakes. Very real use of the structure.
All right, so let's do a quick recap before we wrap up.
0 conditional, facts and things that always happen. If plus present, present. If you heat ice, it melts.
First conditional, real possibilities in the future. If plus present, will. If it rains tomorrow, I'll bring an umbrella.
Second conditional, unreal or unlikely situations now or in the future. If plus past, would. If I won the lottery, I would travel the world.
And third conditional, imagining a different past that can't be changed. If plus past perfect would have plus past participle. If I had known, I would have acted differently.
Each one serves a different purpose, and once you understand the logic behind them, they become much easier to use naturally.
The key is practice. Listen to how native speakers use them and try incorporating them into your own conversations.
And that's it for today's episode. We hope this cleared up any confusion you had about conditionals.
If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and share it with anyone else who's learning English. It really helps us reach more people.
And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We've got tons of great content coming your way.
Also, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment telling us which conditional gave you the most trouble, or share an example sentence using one of the structures we covered today.
Your feedback helps us create better content for you. So, don't be shy.
All right, everyone. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, mistakes are just part of the process.
Until next time, happy learning.
See you soon.